Hello everyone and welcome back to my book nook where I talk all things stories. Today's video is definitely being filmed and uploaded later than I had originally hoped due to an unexpected chronic health flare-up that happened and then lasted for quite a bit, but it is finally here. I am finally so excited to be officially announcing my K-pop readathon that I will be hosting this upcoming October. So first things, just right out the gate, it is going to be a month-long readathon with multiple rounds. The plan is for it to basically happen every 3 months, starting this October. So October 1st is the first day that this is going to be starting. Again, it's a month long. However, I am not policing the readathon. So if you end up taking longer than a month, maybe you take like the full 3 months and it basically becomes a year long for you, that's cool. Nobody's gonna police it. You do it at your own time. But officially, it is a month-long readathon, and I have created multiple different levels and levels of creativity and whatnot. So hopefully that there is something for everyone, including those who maybe aren't into K-pop, because you might be sitting there thinking, Lex, K-pop is music, and this is a book, primarily a book channel, and it's a readathon, which means books and reading. Yes, we are combining two of my loves. I have always wanted to create some sort of like reading challenge or a readathon based around music, especially because I think music is very important to me in the storytelling process. So I have multiple music playlists for when I'm writing and different characters and all of that. And so I had always kind of been playing around with it, and then I had this idea for this K-pop specific inspired one, and I was like, you know what, let's just do it. I think it's going to be super fun, and I am so excited for everyone to hopefully participate in whatever way, shape, or form that takes for them. As of right now, there are no additional hosts. It is just me. However, if this does grow to be something larger than my channel, then we can assess that then, but I don't foresee that happening. But you never know. My last video that I made before this, goodness gracious, was it the teaser trailer for Stray Kids' comeback? Oh wow, that's crazy. Well, that video hit over, like, that reaction was over 1,000 views, I think within like a week, which it is definitely my most viewed video on this channel. But yeah, to touch on real quick for the hiatus, I had attempted filmed clips and whatnot of multiple vlogs while I was kind of gone on a health hiatus, but I've scrapped all this, so we'll get back to my regularly scheduled content here shortly. As a result, this is definitely not kind of the vibes that I was planning for in terms of filming this video. However, we are just rolling with what I got. This is the first day that I'm starting to feel like human again, like properly human, so we're just rolling with it while I can. But what is the K-pop readathon? There's going to be two big aspects of it. The first is the reading side of it, because it's a readathon, and how we go about picking the books and the prompts and all that. And then there is the more K-pop or Korean side of it, because I didn't want it to just be focused on the books, and I also want it to be something where we embrace and learn about the culture that the music that we love is coming from. So there's those two aspects of it. So first off, like I said, there are multiple levels. There's the easy, normal level, and I say normal and easy if you are in K-pop. If you are not, you're gonna wanna go the creative route. We'll start with the basics, and then we'll go to the creative route afterwards. So, what is it? Welcome to Book Nook Entertainment, where you now get to be the man in charge. You are responsible for putting together a K-pop group. If you desire to go the normal route, you can use a pre-existing real-life K-pop group as your base. So, you could use Stray Kids, you could use ATEEZ, you can use iKON, you can use BTS, you can use TWICE, you can use Blackpink, etc., etc. There is no limit. You can also use K-pop groups that exist in media. It does not have to be a real-life K-pop group. So if you want to use one of the two groups in K-pop Demon Hunters, you can. If you have read a book that has a K-pop group in it, you can use the characters from that book as the base. It is up to you. But how do you, right now, this first round, we are just recruiting, we are building our team. How do you build your group? How do you select your idols? Well, you're going to take your group. So we are, for simplicity's sake, I'm going to use Stray Kids. As of right now, that is probably the group that I will end up using as my first base. Yes, I said first. In future rounds, we will be expanding our enterprise. So we're gonna use Stray Kids for my first example. So say I want to recruit Bang Chen. He's the leader of the group. So I can use Bang Chen as my prompt. Basically, your people that you're trying to recruit, you're going to create a prompt based off of that person. It could be something as simple as the main character is a man. So you're going to be able to recruit a man to your group. So if you're doing Stray Kids, they're all men. So if you read a book with a man, you can recruit one of them. Simple as that. Felix, for example, is frequently kind of called like the sunshine. So if you like the grumpy sunshine trope, the trope itself can count. It does not necessarily need to be a man and a woman or two men or what, it does not matter. The trope itself can count. So if you read a story with the grumpy sunshine trope, you can then pull in Felix. However, what if you want to recruit multiple people with one book? Can you do that? Absolutely. You can use one book to recruit as many people as you can, as long as you have separate prompts that can fulfill that person. So you cannot use the grumpy sunshine trope for two sunshine characters. So you can't say, Felix is my sunshine, so he's going to work. Oh, but also Han is also frequently referred to as his sunshine twin, so I'm also going to recruit Han. You would need a second sunshine character in the book in order to recruit Han using the same trope. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know in the comments. Would love to answer any questions. So one prompt or basis per person, right? So Ayen is the Monkte, he is the youngest. So maybe you're reading a book and that character is the youngest in their family. Cool, you can recruit him. Lino, I believe, is an only child. So if your character is an only child or you have an only child, it works. Whatever you want to do, however creative you want to get with these prompts, it is your basis. But you have the group as a whole kind of as your starting point. So for me, if I'm using Stray Kids, I'm going to try to come up with 8 different prompts in order to recruit all 8 people. What if you want to get more creative or you don't want to use the full group or you want to change it up for whatever reason? You can. So say you want to do RM from BTS, you want to do Lisa from Blackpink, you want to do DK from iKON, you want to do Jungho from ATEEZ, and you want to do Felix from Stray Kids because you like his voice. You can. And the same rules apply. You would just make sure you read a book or a prompt that fits that person, whatever that inspiration looks like to you. And it does not necessarily have to be the current like comeback versions of these people. So if you want to do like red-haired Hyunjin, for example, and you read a book like a character who has got red hair, you can pull him and it counts. It does not have to be the time you're reading it accurate. Just have fun with it. With that being said, if you don't listen to K-pop and you don't really know anything about these people, or you're new to it, or you just want to have fun and you want to create your own K-pop group, you can. The same rules are then going to apply, as you have to then do some creative building because you have to create characters at that point. You have to give them some sort of personality or something in order to make your prompts off of them. So if you're like, I'm going to create a K-pop group with 5 people and they're going to be a mix of men and women, you can do that. But then you have to give all 5 of those people some sort of personality or something in order to pick a prompt for that character to hire them on. I hope all this makes sense. I have been planning this readathon for a while now. I've been talking about it with my friends. So I've explained it multiple times, and so I'm trying not to like over explain it, but also explain it enough. So I hope it made sense. But basically, one prompt for one person to be able to recruit them for your team. Simple as that. You can use one book for multiple people. It just needs to be separate prompts for those people. That is the basis of this round. We are just recruiting. That is it. There is no limit to how many people you can recruit. So I know NCT has many members. You can recruit all of them if you really want to. I will say though that there is a limit. It has to be at least 3 people. And the only reason why I say 3 is because Huntrix from K-Pop Demon Hunters is 3 members and you can use them as a base. However, I would encourage you to challenge yourself to try to do 5 or more. But again, B2B is also currently 4 members. So take it as you will, have fun with it. The second part, which is the part that I am also really excited for, and it is completely optional. However, I would highly encourage you to challenge yourself to do this optional part. I have created a bingo board for this readathon. I'm going to scoot over and I'm going to pop up my bingo board here. I've written it down because I currently don't have it printed out, but I'm going to be looking down to be reading the prompts and explaining them to you. There are bonuses for completing, like hitting a bingo. There is also a major bonus for doing blackout. I will explain both of those at the end. So, first one is listen to a K-pop song. It is a K-pop readathon. Listen to a single song. It does not matter if you know the words or not. It does not matter if you've listened to that song every single day for the past 3 years. Listen to a single K-pop song. Boom, you got it. You want to up it for the next one. You're going to listen to an album. I specifically am saying album. I really want you to push yourselves to not just do an EP. I want it to be a full album. If you are into the K-pop sphere, I will say, I am at least currently aware it is called an album, which is why I'm referring to it as an album and not an EP. There's currently an album out there with only 3 songs on it. If you find that album and you listen to the entire thing, it counts. So, just putting that out there. But listen to an entire K-pop album. Next up is you're going to learn the lyrics to a new to you song. This is going to be hard for some of you for 2 reasons. 1, a new to you song. If you absolutely love K-pop and you've been listening to K-pop for a while, that might be the hardest part, is finding a song that is new to you. And I'm saying new to you-ish. As long as the song, you haven't heard it more than 3 times voluntarily, it counts. So, I just watched Kingdom Legendary Wars, and I have been introduced to B2B and iKON. I have not previously listened to any of their stuff prior to watching Kingdom, and I haven't, as of filming this, I have not started really delving into any of their music, anything like that. So the only music that I've heard from them was from watching Kingdom Legendary Wars. I would be able to use either of them as the basis for this one because I have not gone and looked up their songs myself other than from what I have seen on Kingdom Legendary Wars. So find a group that is, or a song, right? So as of filming this, Stray Kids' new album just dropped, but unfortunately this readathon is not happening until October. So we basically have a little over a month now. So some of you may not be able to count this. However, ATEEZ, I do know, is coming out with a Japanese album in the middle of September. Maybe you listen through the album, you pick one song that you kind of put on the back burner. You're like, I heard the song once, that is the song I want to learn. Because here's the thing, the song does not have to be in Korean if it is sung by the K-pop group. If it is sung in Japanese, it will still count. So, you want to take that song, you're like, I'm going to back burner that. That's the song I'm going to learn. Then October hits, you start learning the lyrics. It counts. The second part of that is you're going to learn the lyrics. You are not just going to listen and kind of just mumble along or only learn the English lyrics. No, you're going to learn all of the lyrics. You don't necessarily have to be good at speaking them, but you're going to do your best. Especially because that may not be a language that you speak, so that's going to be challenging. That, in my opinion, is one of the hardest prompts on this entire bingo board. I apologize. Next up is listen to a new to you group. So, can you double up on prompts? Yeah. So for me, if I was smart, we'll see if I'm smart by the time this challenge starts. If I was smart, I would save B2B or Icon and really start delving into their music until October. So that is a new to me group. Then I would pick an album, any album that I desire. And I would listen through that entire album. Not only would I then listen to a K-pop song, I would have also listened to the album. It's a new to me group. And then I pick one of those songs off the album and I learn the lyrics. Boom. I just hit bingo on my bingo board. You can do that. Or if you want to challenge yourself and do something different for each of them, more power to you. After that, the next prompt is you're going to practice Hangul. That is, I probably butchered how I said that. I hope I said that correctly, but I definitely probably mispronounced that. You are going to practice writing and speaking it. From my understanding, I could be wrong in how to explain this, but to me, the way it comes across is almost like that's their alphabet of sorts. It is like their written characters and whatnot, and then each character obviously has like a sound and whatnot, and that's what makes up their words and whatnot. So to me, it's basically the equivalent of their alphabet. You're going to learn it, or at least you're going to practice it. It does not matter if it's one time or if you become like able to say all of it, just go for it. I'm going to link it in the description down below, but there is a YouTube channel called Learn Korean Like a Baby. And there's a 15-minute video that they have where you can learn the entire Hangul alphabet in 15 minutes. It is a beautifully well done video. I have watched it myself. That is the video that I will be using to refresh my practice and all of that. I don't make any commission. I'm not associated with that channel at all. That's just a channel that I have found on my own because I'm trying to teach myself Korean. So highly recommend it. Like I said, I'll link it down below. Next up is you're going to learn a new phrase in Korean. Again, K-pop. The K in K-pop stands for Korean. We want to embrace the culture. We want to learn about the culture, right? And so we're going to learn a new phrase in Korean. Here's the thing. If you're smart and you plan ahead, that phrase can be from one of the songs, because remember you're learning the lyrics to a song. Just putting that out there. It also does not matter what it is. It could be a greeting. It could be a common saying. It could be hello. You could learn how to say hello, my name is, fill in the blank, right? You could learn how to say that. It does not matter what you learn. You're just going to learn a new phrase. And right now, because this is the first round, this is the easiest. Here's the thing. This bingo board is going to potentially evolve, but at the very least, it's going to exist for every future round. So with each round, you're going to learn a new phrase. So in round one, it's going to be easy because it's going to be your first phrase. However, if you suddenly get into learning the language and we're like 10 rounds down, that might start to get a little bit harder, but like until you become fluent in the language, that's probably going to be really hard not to find a new language or a new phrase, but you know, that's neither here nor there. Next two prompts kind of go hand in hand. First one is you're going to eat Korean food, and the second one is you're going to make Korean food. So if you want to make Korean food and then eat it, boom, you got two. That one's a little bit easy. Maybe you just cannot cook, or you don't have access to maybe like Asian markets or anything like that where you can get the food so you can't make it. That might make that a little bit more difficult, but you know, at least eating the food, that one is usually a little bit easier. So, and for that, I want it to be an actual Korean food, not necessarily like, I know a lot of Koreans do drink iced Americanos. That is not a traditionally Korean, one, it's a drink, but two, it's not traditionally Korean. So it's not gonna count, right? But ramyeon, I'll count it, right? So that's going to be for those ones. Next up, this is where it starts to get really fun, and it's not the readathon part of it, but this is where it falls into the K-pop side of it, right? The Korean part of it, for especially. First, you're gonna learn the choreography to a dance. It does not matter which dance, it does not matter which song, just learn. You also don't have to be perfect. You do not have to be able to perform it without like some sort of guide video. You also technically don't have to learn the entire dance. However, I would really encourage you to learn the entire dance, not just the chorus, but learn the choreography to a dance. Second one, even easier, is you're just gonna freestyle dance to K-pop, which means again, remember, we can double up prompts and whatnot, do them at the same time, is while you're listening to a K-pop song or an album, as long as you're just moving and grooving and you're dancing and you're just doing whatever, boom, you freestyle dance to a K-pop song. You got something off your bingo board. Next up, you're going to watch a YouTube video in Korean. I specifically am specifying YouTube video and not like a TikTok short, a YouTube short, an Instagram reel. No. I want a full-length video. I want the video to be at least 8 minutes long. And again, spoken in Korean. There are so many videos out there. I don't know how many there are. At least from my understanding, from looking at some of the K-pop idols like YouTube channels, many of them have videos that is just them talking to each other. Maybe it's kind of like a vlog of some sort or whatever. That counts. You don't have to be able to, you can throw subtitles or whatever on the closed caption. You can throw that on. That totally counts. That we're just gonna watch the video and we're gonna just immerse ourselves in it, right? Do not watch a like English interview that is spoken 90% in English. Does not count. I want a majority of the video to be spoken in Korean. So, next up is you're gonna watch a K-drama. That may become a little bit difficult depending on what you have access to, but if you can find it anywhere on the internet, it counts. So, watch K-drama. Don't care which one it is, don't care how long it is, don't care how much of it you watch, other than just at least a full video, like a full episode or whatever. You're gonna watch a K-drama. After that, you're gonna read a manhwa. So if you have no clue what a manhwa is, at least from my understanding and my knowledge of looking into it, it is basically the Korean version of a manga, which is Japanese. So you can Google them. There's plenty out there. One of them that is massive that I had heard about even before I had known that it was a manhwa. I had always called it a manga until I figured out that was not the correct one. It was a manhwa, and that is Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling is a manhwa. So that is huge. I believe there is an anime for it. It started as like a webtoon. Now it's published. It counts. There you go. There's an easy one for you if you don't want to go searching. If you want to go searching, there are plenty of good ones out there. I'm personally going to be reaching out to my best friend who has like a whole backlog of like manhwas that they have read and loved. So I'm just going to be like, yo, give me one. So that's where I don't know what I'm reading yet. That's going to be a journey for future Lex. After that, you're going to watch a variety show. Here's the thing. The variety shows, you can definitely find them on YouTube. That is how I typically watch them. Guess what? They're in Korean. So you can, boom, you're marking off multiples at the same time. It counts. I'm trying to make this like easy, but also a little bit challenging. I hope I found a good balance. Next up, the next 2 prompts have bonus prompts just for completing the 1 prompt. So the first one is you're going to read a book by a Korean author. If you read a book by a Korean author, it does not matter anything else. That prompt, by completing it, automatically gives you a free pass to recruit someone onto your team. So if I read a book with the happy sunshine trope, one of the characters is a guy, it's by a Korean author, and then also let's go to the next prompt, which is read a book with a Korean main character. So say my main character is also Korean. Those all count as recruitments. So I have my book by my Korean author, boom, automatic, I can recruit someone. Then the main character is Korean, boom, that's the second one automatically just for completing that prompt. Then you have the, one of them is a male character. Doesn't matter if that's a Korean one or not, it's a different prompt, or it's a different thing. Boom, that's my third recruitment. And then boom, it's also Grumpy Sunshine trope. Cool, I can do my sunshine for Felix, but I've got 4 different recruitments just off of 1 book because it filled those prompts. So maybe there's a little incentive for you to go outside your comfort zone and what you're typically familiar with and reading other books. Here's the thing. I specifically want to challenge you for it to be a Korean author because it is the K-pop Readathon. As much as I would love to also support other Asian authors, There are other challenges that are just genre, like Asian specific. For this one, I want you to challenge yourself for it to be a Korean author. They can be like Korean American. They don't have to live in Korea or have written the book in Korean for it to count. But if they are of Korean heritage, it counts. So I want to challenge you for that. What happens if you hit bingo? Like the reading a book by a Korean author and a Korean main character, if you hit bingo, that is an automatic recruitment. So the more bingos you hit, the more free recruitments. If you get a blackout, that means you also get to immediately, no questions asked, recruit as many people as you want. And that's it, period. So if you spend the entire month just focusing on the bingo board, and then you read a Korean manhwa, right, by a Korean author that has a Korean main character, and you read that, maybe there's only 5 volumes by the time you read it. And you read all 5, or you only read 1. But you did everything else on your bingo board. That one manhwa gives you then the authority to recruit whoever you want. No questions asked. You don't have to read any more prompts. You don't have to read any more books. The one counts. So if you are super strapped for time and you're just like, October's a crazy month for me because maybe you have finals, or, you know, Halloween's at the end of the month, or you're just like super busy. If you get creative with your time and the prompts, you can do it with very few books. You can also challenge yourself to see how many books you can read. Again, there is no policing this. You can do this however you want. This is supposed to be a fun challenge. I am incredibly excited for it. I've been planning this for a while. I am announcing this like at the end of August, so I still have time before it even starts, but I am just so excited for this. I have been talking about this with my friends, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to this, and I tried to balance it out of the reading, but also the K-pop side of it, and then also just like respecting the culture and where K-pop music came from, right? And I know there are a lot of new K-pop fans, especially after K-pop Demon Hunters, and I just want to make sure that we are respecting the culture and the community of where this music is coming from. So I think I've said everything. I'm gonna wrap up at the very end, just kind of the main points. Again, this is a month-long readathon. So for this first round, it is going to be the entire month of October, and there is no limit. You do not have to be like one book, like it does not have to be a single book for a single person, anything like that. It is got tons of flexibility to it. The bingo board is optional, but has rewards if you do complete the prompts. But again, it is optional. I hope you guys liked it. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. But I'm excited for this, and I will be back shortly with my TBR for this, and I cannot wait to see what you guys are reading or planning or what your thoughts are. But that is it for this video, you guys, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!